Are you wondering if you should go gluten-free? Have you been told it might be a good idea, but you have no idea why or even how to start? Well, stay tuned because we're going to break down the what, why, and how of going gluten-free. Hello, and welcome to this growing community of people who are ready to get out of chronic illness, escape from mystery symptoms, and redesign your lifestyle so that you can be fit, energized, and pain-free in ways that are easy, fun, and sustainable. I find it sad when people make fun of gluten sensitivity like it's a fad, but it's actually pervasive throughout the human population. And celiac disease in particular can be deadly. Science has revealed gluten sensitivity is the fire fueling many medical problems by causing inflammation at the cellular level. Almost every degenerative disease, from Alzheimer's to atherosclerosis to psoriasis, begins with cellular inflammation. For example, a 22-year-old man diagnosed with dystonia, which causes his muscles to spasm painfully and uncontrollably, was given Botox by his doctors to almost no avail. Later, after going gluten-free, he was cured in a few months. A 66-year-old man suffered with migraines for 30 years. Medications didn't help. He went gluten-free, improved dramatically, and stopped most of his medications. I have a similar story around migraines myself. Kids with ADHD have improved on a gluten-free diet. In fact, studies have shown improvement in all 12 ADHD markers, not thanks to Ritalin nor Adderall. The Mayo Clinic has linked gluten with dementia, while people of a certain age tell me stories all the time about getting their lives back on a gluten-free diet. So yes, drugs can manage some of these diseases, but why manage diseases when you can reverse them by removing an inflammatory protein from your diet altogether? Now, beginning with the ancient Romans, so much of the world history suggests that appreciation for wheat was more political than nutritional. Did you know that in ancient Roman times, they used to throw bread in circuses? Have you heard this? The Roman Empire used to use bread for political reasons. They used it as payment to their army because gluten has opioid-like effects. You know, when you eat bread, you feel really good. Not only does it smell good and it feels good, it impacts the opioid receptors in your brain, your feel-good hormones. And so they used to give bread rations to the army to keep them happy. And the people, the commoners who were poor and sickly, they would throw these big wild parties and throw them bread. So the people would think, oh, yes, thank you, we love the bread. It's actually numbing their brain. They're numbing out on all of this gluten high and thinking that the Roman Empire was taking such good care of them. So they were distracting them with the party, but also affecting their brain power, you know, that brain fog that you can have from gluten. So they are distracted and desensitized. They're not thinking clearly, not realizing that they're being taken advantage of. Gluten is a sticky protein that's found in grains like barley and rye and wheat. And it's a staple in the Western diet, found in foods like breads and cereals and pasta and everyday stuff that can cause migraines, brain fog, joint pain, and other nasty conditions. Grains are a biologically recent food that have also been altered by the widespread use of chemical pesticides, herbicides, and genetic modification. The problem isn't necessarily wheat, it's that our bodies have not adapted in stride. So here's how to explain gluten sensitivity. If you can think of proteins like a pearl necklace, and so HCl, your stomach acid, undoes the clasp of the pearl necklace. And now you have a long chain of pearls linked together. That's a protein, and the pearls are called amino acids. Your digestive system is trying to break down each little pearl into amino acids so that you can absorb them. And you're only supposed to absorb single amino acids or two amino acids together, called dipeptides. Your digestive system is supposed to break down your food until it gets easily absorbed. Until it gets broken down, we really can't absorb it well. And that's the problem with the gluten proteins of wheat, rye, barley, is that we lack the enzymes or the scissors to cut off each pearl of the necklace. We can only break it down into clumps of pearls, which can muck up our digestion. Humans simply cannot break down the proteins of wheat, rye, and barley, so we break it down into peptides. And here's the thing, when you are consistently bringing things into your body that you cannot break down, meaning you cannot digest them, further, you cannot absorb the nutrients in that food. When you are consuming plants like wheat that have been hybridized to grow bigger and faster, therefore their gluten content is increased. They have a higher gluten content than ancient wheat. It causes more inflammation in the body and further causes distress on your digestive system. There are many symptoms that can be related to gluten. I mentioned brain fog, I mentioned digestive distress, but also joint pain, rashes, skin rashes. When you start to see that, you know that your body is telling you there's something wrong in your digestion. Either you're sensitive to the food that you're bringing in, or you lack the ability to break that down. Of course, there are things that we can do, bring in enzymes that are going to help that digestive process. I always recommend that, increasing your HCl, your stomach acid. We talked about that. I have another video for you on stomach acid. But also know that gluten sensitivity is real. It's not a lose weight fast scheme. It's not a fad. There is a real condition known as non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Here's the deal. If you aren't getting outstanding results with your diet and lifestyle changes, then you should remove gluten from your diet or get tested to see if you have a gluten sensitivity. The chain breaks at the weakest link when you pull hard enough. And with 19,000 articles or more in PubMed published on gluten, if you're experiencing discomfort on a regular basis and nothing is making sense, consider gluten and give me a shout. So here's the one-on-one on going gluten-free. Number one, know what is gluten-free. Anything that is a vegetable, a fruit, or a meat is gluten-free naturally. There's so much marketing out there that shows us gluten-free packages. And we get so excited because when you're new to going gluten-free, you just want to find all of your favorite comfort foods. Where is it? What can I eat? All my favorite foods have been taken away. I argue those were not serving you in the first place. The best foods that you can feed your body, especially if you're trying to repair digestion or reduce or find relief from, recover from chronic symptoms, you want to bring in whole foods that your body knows how to digest. That doesn't mean that you can't have some of your old favorites. These days, there are more and more quality gluten-free products on the market. You have to know what to look for. So you want to, especially if you have celiac disease, you want to make sure that it is certified gluten-free, and it will have a GF, certified gluten-free, meaning whatever the product is was not processed on a conveyor belt that also processed gluten-containing items like wheat, barley, rye, because if you have celiac, just that little contamination could send you to the hospital. That is an autoimmune disease that is directly triggered by gluten. Other autoimmune diseases, gluten causes inflammation, but gluten is not the sole culprit, how it is in celiac disease. Now, what kinds of foods can you have besides vegetables and meat that are gluten-free? Well, potatoes, buckwheat, almond, flax, cashews, all of your nuts and seeds. They are all gluten-free. Teff, amaranth, millet, buckwheat, grain-like seeds, beans, nuts, nut butters, eggs, fresh fruit, herbs and spices, meats purchased without sauces or seasonings, because often sauces will contain gluten in them because it's a thickener. The glue makes it thicker. Oats, especially steel cut oats, can be gluten free. So, as you can see, there is a plethora of gluten free items, naturally gluten free items that you can either make your whole food meal. And on my website, I have a slew of recipes that I'm happy to share with you to make this easy for you. But also, you can find bread that is made from nuts and seeds. You can find cookies made from nuts and seeds, crackers made from nuts and seeds. You can find bars that are gluten free, protein bars, cereals, pastas. Oh my gosh, is there a whole new world of gluten free pastas? We have rice pasta, quinoa pasta, bean pasta, lentil pasta, soybean pasta. The list goes on. Squash pasta. Nowadays, you'd be hard pressed to not find gluten free pasta. And if you don't find it in a market near you, they definitely have it on places like Amazon or Thrive Market. I'll put the links below.
There are enzymes that you can take prior to having something that's not gluten. And here's the thing, that is not a get out of jail free card. It's not a free pass. Just go ahead and just eat the way you were eating before. But sometimes if you're going to a child birthday party or an event where you're just like, oh, there's nothing I can do and I want to be able to participate. It's going to look weird, or I'm going to feel weird, or it's somebody's wedding cake and it's really special. Take your enzymes, preferably right before, or you can take it after to mitigate any inflammatory response, any kind of reactions that you're going to have, and know that that's not how you normally eat. So you're not going to likely have a lot of damage. You can undo it, and you can still enjoy yourself while being gluten-free. That is something that you want to commit to because you want to put those fires out. The longer they are raging, the more dis-ease you're going to experience, because inflammation is the root of all dis-ease.
As you can see, if you are struggling with chronic or mystery illness, gluten is one of the ingredients that you do want to avoid because the proteins are sticky. It can help, not only does it cause inflammation, but it can help cause a leaky gut situation that is going to further cause more food sensitivities. So my recommendation to you, if it has been advised that you go gluten-free, or you're noticing other people are going gluten-free and you wonder if that might be a right choice for you, it can be easy to go gluten-free. Try it for a week. If that works out well, try it for a month and see if you start to find relief from your headache, start to think more clearly, start to have better skin, more energy, less joint pain, less digestive trouble. And then you can thank me later. If you need more support around this, I've got you covered. I have a chronic illness recovery roadmap. You can get that guide. It will give you step by step of what you need to do first, second, third, fourth, 5 steps for you to start turning your health around, relieving your symptoms, and getting on the road to recovery once and for all. Be sure to leave a comment, share this with somebody who needs to hear it, and hit that subscribe button so next time I make a video, you get notified. Bye for now.